There comes a time for many of us when a reliable car transitions from a luxury to an absolute necessity. That moment hit me hard and fast. My trusty old sedan decided to give up the ghost unexpectedly, leaving me stranded and scrambling. I needed transportation immediately for work and daily errands. My budget was tight, and I simply didn't have the luxury of time for a drawn-out private sales search or the financing for a new vehicle. That's when the idea of a public auto auction in Philadelphia first entered my mind. Friends had mentioned deals, and the prospect of a quick, affordable solution felt incredibly appealing. My initial dive into the world of public auto auctions was filled with a surprising sense of optimism. Browsing through the online listings for various Philadelphia auctions, I saw a huge array of vehicles. Everything from sedans and SUVs to pickup trucks and vans seemed to be available. The pictures, often limited, hinted at incredible bargains. I imagined myself driving away in a perfectly functional car for a fraction of its market value. The potential savings felt significant. It was easy to get carried away by the sheer volume and seemingly low starting bids. The idea of securing a solid vehicle quickly and cheaply was a powerful lure. The narrative of unbelievable deals at public auto auctions is a powerful one. It speaks to our desire for value and efficiency. The promise of acquiring a car at a wholesale price, often far below retail, sounds incredibly enticing. You see those tantalizingly low bids and envision skipping the negotiation headaches of a dealership. The process seems streamlined: bid, win, drive away. It feels like an open secret to smart car ownership. This initial appeal is precisely what draws many, including myself, to explore these platforms. It's a vision of financial savviness and quick problem solving. As I delved deeper, examining the terms and conditions, the shiny veneer of these bargains began to chip away. A common phrase jumped out from every auction house's fine print: all vehicles sold as is, where is. This wasn't just a casual disclaimer, it was the fundamental operating principle. This means absolutely no warranty, no guarantees, and certainly no returns. Once that hammer falls, the vehicle is yours, regardless of any hidden issues. The inspection periods were often minimal, sometimes just a walk around for a few minutes before the bidding started. Test drives were almost universally prohibited. This severely limited any real assessment of a vehicle's mechanical health. The lack of comprehensive transparency became increasingly apparent. Understanding the as-is clause is paramount. It shifts all the risk onto the buyer. If you win a bid on a car that appears fine but has a failing transmission or a blown head gasket, those enormous repair costs become solely your responsibility. This potential financial burden can quickly erase any perceived savings from the auction price. A cheap purchase can transform into an incredibly expensive problem. You could end up spending thousands more than you anticipated just to make the vehicle roadworthy. The emotional toll of buying a lemon also cannot be understated. It's not just about the money, it's the stress, the lost time, and the immediate need for another solution. I remember one particular listing, a late model SUV that looked immaculate in its single online photo. The description was vague but didn't mention any major faults. Its current bid was unbelievably low. I almost convinced myself to go for it. The thought of getting such a good-looking vehicle at that price was hard to resist. But then I recalled the as-is warnings and the inability to even start the engine before bidding. The internal debate raged. What if it was perfect? What if it had a fatal flaw? The potential for owning a major problem, a car that needed immediate, costly repairs, felt too great. I decided to step back. My experience hammered home the absolute necessity of understanding the auction's specific rules. Each public auction house has its own set of policies, and ignorance is not bliss, it's costly. You must familiarize yourself with their terms before you even think about placing a bid. Beyond the as-is nature, there are often buyer's premiums, administrative fees, and sales taxes to consider. These can add hundreds, sometimes thousands, to the final bid price. You need to know the total cost before the bidding starts. Remember, a bid is a binding contract. There are no takebacks, no cooling off periods. Once you're the winning bidder, that car belongs to you, and so do all its inherent issues. For anyone considering a public auto auction, thorough due diligence is not just recommended, it's essential. This means going to the inspection day, if one is offered, and bringing a trusted mechanic. Even a brief professional eye can spot glaring issues that a novice might miss. Always run a VIN check. This can reveal crucial details about the vehicle's history, including accidents, odometer discrepancies, and previous salvage titles. Don't rely solely on the auction house's limited information. Research the specific model you're interested in. Understand common problems for that make and model year. Be prepared for what might go wrong, not just what looks right. The allure of a public auto auction is powerful, but the risks are equally significant. Without warranties, test drives, or comprehensive inspections, you are truly buying the unknown. You could secure a fantastic deal, or you could inherit a very expensive headache. Before you consider bidding, commit to thorough research. Understand the vehicle, understand the auction's rules, and understand the potential costs. For more information on smart car buying and ownership, I encourage you to visit www.sacker.org. Being informed is your best defense against buyer's remorse. Proceed with caution, do your homework, and protect yourself from owning the problem.